need people who will stand up to the industries that are polluting our air. Any parent or grandparent of a kid with asthma will do a better job of finding solutions to our air quality problems. The best thing you can do is to step aside and let those who care about our environment work on the state implementation plan. You failed the people of Texas, and we need to be protected from your agency.
Will be followed by Molly Rook, will be followed by Keith Kubel.
Hi, my name is Becky Bornhorst, and I'm with Downwinders at Risk. And I've been at this cleaning up the air business for about 16 years now. I've been through several SIP planning processes, and my recommendation would be to take a look at some of the previous measures that the locals have submitted to you, which you took and immediately ignored. You should still have them. They're still good ideas. And now I want to make a point about financial feasibility and how it can be misrepresented. In 2007, Ms. Hildebrand testified in front of the House Environmental Committee about the costs of installing SCR technology on the Midlothian cement plants. That estimate did not agree with the TCEQ's own 2006 report, which estimated the average cost of SCR at 3,600 tons of NOx removed, per ton of NOx removed. Her estimate was inflated to a whopping $96,000 per ton of NOx removed. In order to achieve such an inflated figure, she used only 2 kilns running 15% of the time, instead of the TCEQ's estimate of all 8 kilns operating 24/7, which is reality. With such obvious and intentional inaccurate testimony aimed at protecting the cement industry, how are we, the public, to have any confidence in the TCEQ's ability to protect public health? Thank you.
Molly Rook will be followed by Keith Kubel, who will be followed by Kimberly Franklin.
I'm Molly Rook, and I'm representing the Dallas Sierra Club, and we have over 4,700 members just in the Dallas group. I'm also a board member of Downwinders at Risk, and I'm also a breather of dirty air. And I have asthma, and we're all here because our air isn't safe to breathe. And the TCEQ needs to be doing a much better job than it has. I've been working on this issue for over 20 years now, and it's time to get it right. And I served on that committee that Becky was talking about out at COG, the North Texas Clean Air Steering Committee, and we came up with a good set of recommendations. And it's a shame that the TCEQ ignored most of them, and it's disappointing to see the governor fighting clean air and supporting the polluters, especially when he says things that he cares about local control. And here this committee had local representatives of government, business, and environmental and public interest groups, and we came up with this list of recommendations, and it was ignored. So I hope that the TCEQ will listen this time, take the recommendations we had before, and then add on to it. We have a long way to go. And the plan last time didn't even show on paper that we would come into compliance. And so we need to do far better. We need to stop permitting additional sources like new coal-fired power plants. It just doesn't make sense. We need to look at the cumulative impact of all these permits, whether it's for gas drilling and production or new power plants. I mean, if we're going to get into compliance, how is that going to happen if we keep permitting new sources? And it's frustrating. I've worked on this for so long, but I actually feel more hopeful now than I have in the past, because I know now that TCEQ, even if they don't do their part, and I hope that you'll take your chance to get it right this time. But if you don't, I know that the EPA has our back. They've taken over some permitting, and I know that they can come up with a federal implementation plan if the state doesn't get theirs right this time. Thank you.
Followed by Kimberly Franklin.
Good evening. I'm Keith Kubal. I live in Irving, Texas. I'm a private citizen. And I would just like to say thank you for having this meeting, and thank you for hearing the voices of all the concerned citizens and the groups. There was a story about a jar that gets filled with first rocks and then sand and then water to illustrate, you can put more things in if you get the big ones in first, as opposed to putting first the water, then the sand, and then the rocks. It's very difficult to do it that way. My recommendation is that you take a look at the rocks, the big things, the major emitters, the coal-fired power plants, oil and gas industry, and tackle those first. And the first thing on the list of control strategies here is to ban segways from the use on sidewalks. I think that's not going to have a large impact. So my recommendation would be just to concentrate on the larger things first, use the manpower, time, energy, effort, and resources at your disposal to go after the things that are going to have the largest impact first, and then we can work our way down from there. Thank you very much.
Kimberly Franklin.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Franklin. I'm just one of many concerned citizens. After seeing the gentleman's earlier slideshow, it's clear to me why my father-in-law can't breathe in the summer. In 2004, 380 BCF of gas was produced in the Barnett Shale. 5 years later, in 2009, it was 1,767 BCF. That is an increase of 365% of gas production in just 5 years. I would assume the pollution went up equally. There are now 17,000 wells in the Barnett Shale. These wells produce a great deal of pollution. Our once beautiful blue skies are now quite dingy. When will strong pollution controls be added to the 17,000 wells in North Texas? If the pollution controls won't be added to each drill site, I suggest you put an air monitor by each and every drill site so those emitting toxins can correct their faulty valves and equipment quickly. We don't need strategies, we need actions now.
And he'll be followed by Gary Stewart.
Hello, my name's Cynthia Fava. I'm with Downwinders at Risk, and thank you for being here tonight. So we're going to give some comments to you guys. I was reading the paper today, and I'm basically concerned about the cement plants in Midlothian that we've been fighting with the hazardous waste burning for over 20 years. But this struck me as being just a little bit over the top. I'd like to read this very short article to you, and I wonder if it speaks to you as it spoke to me. The Texas Commission on Environmental Quality confirmed Wednesday that the agency plans to install an air monitoring station in Flower Mound. Thank you, it needs one. The AutoGC air monitoring system would be similar to one in place in Dish. And TCEQ said it is also committed to installing an AutoGC in southeast Tarrant County by the end of the summer. The agency also is exploring opportunities to purchase additional monitors to be placed in the Barnett Shale drilling area.